What's going on, everybody? Today I want to go over with you my 3 favorite baits that I'm using pretty much anywhere. If I'm going to go to a place I've never been there before, or if I'm just going to be searching an area and I want to be able to cast, reel in, cover a lot of water, I'm going to use a paddle tail, a soft plastic paddle tail. And I'm going to go over with you my 3 favorite that I've been using, and I'm going to save the best for last, so stick around for that. I want to start though by saying everything in this video you can help me out by clicking on the affiliate link below. Now some of these you can get from your local bait shop or directly from the manufacturer, but if you want to go on Amazon you can get them as well. And then the last one I've actually got a sponsorship with, which is super cool company, and gonna get you a 10% discount if you use my code. So remember that as we're getting into these. Let's talk about them. This is probably one of the ones I've used a lot in the rivers. It's been raining a lot, and I've had luck with these bright chartreuse kind of colors. This is a brand called Big Joshy. They're going to come with a smaller sort of gumball jig head right here. Now you can get these in a few different sizes, 2.75 inches, or this is a 3.25. I've got some pretty big fish, smallmouth bass anyway, 15, 16, 17 inches on the 2.75, but I really prefer the 3.25. They come in a 5-pack in this nice little clamshell right here. And these things just have some great action. You can see they got little fins here, the way the body is. Something about the way that they make these, they've got good action. They paddle real good, and they also sort of wobble like this. These are really, really good. They come in a bunch of different colors, but chartreuse is normally the one that I keep with me all the time to fish those muddy waters. The next one I want to talk about here is this Megabass. Now, people are no stranger to Megabass. This is the Megabass Haze Dong shad, the 4.2 inch, and this is the Morocco color. It's sort of a clear color, so I'll use this when the water is like crystal clear or it's not real dark. If it was real dark, I would use a different kind of color, like more of a, they have a chartreuse color, or I would use maybe even like this Gabi color right here. But either way, this brand is good. It's scented. It smells like, I think it's got like a shrimp scent to it. Really good action on these. The thing that's a little bit different is that the lip curves up right here, and it's got these little hard sort of plastic eyes. And unlike the Big Joshy, this has a little bit of a split down the middle of it. Not a huge one though. Comes in a pack like this with a plastic inlay there to keep the paddle tails sort of in place so they don't get all smushed down. But this is just a good one. I have noticed though that for what they are, they don't, I don't want to say they don't last long, but they're sort of fragile. So normally my first hit of a bass or a fish on here, I'm gonna have to either replace it or cut the head down and use it sort of like that, right, wherever the split is, because the hook's going to come out about right here and it's going to get ripped. This is probably the paddle tail that I've had rip the easiest and the most often when I catch fish with it. Not a huge deal though. You might get a couple fish out of it and then just cut it down and it works the same. So you want to get it to where the hook stops right before this action. So if I can get it even to right there, so if I get that top part of the head off and have to hook it right there, I've had that work. And that's going to be pretty much the same with all these paddle tails. If they're ripping like that, I just cut them down and use them so I can get the most use out of them. Now this is probably my favorite here. This is Ned Wacky, and now the thing about these is that they are very durable. I find that I get a lot more fish per piece than I do on some of the other ones. And it's a paddle tail. They've got some flex in here. Now Ned Wacky's got a bunch of different colors. This is the red, but I've had luck with all the different colors, really the darker ones, especially in my area. And here's what the paddle tail looks like. Got a little boot on it. I will say one thing about the Ned Wacky is if you look at the tail on some of these, how thin some of these are compared to this one, or even especially compared to like the Megabass. These are really, really thin. These aren't as thin coming down, but they still get a lot of good action. But more than the whole body going, I find just it's the tail works as like a little propeller. But same thing here. If it rips it, I just cut it down. And I cut these things down pretty far when the damage goes. The cool thing about Ned Wacky is that You can also, they're starting to here soon make custom baits as far as the color. So you can get a paddle tail in whatever color. They have a bunch of different colors. And so that's pretty cool as well. But just a straight nose right there. And there's a link down for Ned Wacky below. And don't forget to use that discount code if you want to check them out. They got a bunch of different soft plastics. But with all of these, all I do is use a 1/4 ounce jig head, 1/4 ounce gumball jig head. These are jig heads that I got off Amazon called Upper. You get a bunch of them in a pack, and I haven't really had any issue with them. You can get 2 different styles, but this one has a little bait stopper right here to sort of keep your bait on. Nice barb on it. And yeah, so you just come down from the top with it. Just feed it down through there. You're gonna pop it out, push it up, and just like that. Get it as straight as you can down the shaft, tie it on, and then there you go. Now you may think, hey, the hook is a little high up on the plastic there, but that's fine. Never had any issue with it, because when they grab it, they're gonna grab the whole thing, especially bass. They got big appetites. So that's how you run it. And those are my 3 favorite paddle tail brands that I'm using right now, and the types of paddle tail and sort of how I'm hooking it up. Just a gumball jig. You can get an underspin or whatever, but straight 1/4 ounce gumball jig into one of these paddle tails, and you're going to be pretty much set for getting fish. Honestly, if you're throwing one of these and you're switching the colors around, and if you're not catching fish, the fish, they're just not there. So go out there, check these out. Let me know what you think. Have fun. And until next time, I'll catch you all later.